Hey guys, Jason here. Just coming at you this week with a really quick video. First, an update on the new panel and autopilot. It's all installed. I've flown the airplane. The panel's working great. All the avionics are working great. I've just got a problem with the autopilot. That's being sorted out this week, and I should be good to go here shortly. So I hope to make a video giving you a tour of the new avionics in the 310. In the meantime, I've been wanting to do this video for a while. It's entitled "The Time I Almost Geared Up," and it's a tough video to do. I didn't gear up, fortunately, but I think there's some key learnings from this, and I wanted to share to hopefully help you fly more like a professional. So I have reasonably high hours. I've got thousands of hours. I believe I'm a consummate professional, but I'm human, just like the next person. Anybody can gear up a plane. I knew an airline pilot with a few tens of thousands of hours back in the 90s that geared up a Bonanza in Central Texas. It can happen to anybody. We can all get distracted. We're human. So what happened in this particular instance is I was coming into Dallas and to a towered airport, coming in from the south. The wind was out of the north, and the tower cleared us to land on a straight-in final. So first of all, I'm not in the pattern. I'm used to, in the pattern, putting my gear down, being the numbers, or on instrument approach, putting it down when I hit the glide slope. So first of all, right off the bat, this is slightly unusual pattern entry, but not unheard of when coming into a towered airport. Also, it was very windy and bumpy, and on top of that, there was a DC-3 in front of me, which was going relatively slow. He was number one to land. So the tower asked me to slow down. So there's all sorts of distractions, the dreaded D word, distractions, going on. So this was a 1 in a million thing. I put the gear down just as we hit a really big air pocket, a really big bump, and the plane lurched up and down. What happened, and again, it's a 1 in a million thing, the gear switch high centered on the switch. So if you look at the diagram here of the switch, you can see where the arrow is pointing. There's a little triangular piece on the switch, and to be either gear up or gear down, it locks either side of that little rectangular piece that sticks up on the switch. Well, actually high centered. So the gear started down. I heard some rumbles, but it basically failed midway through its extension cycle because it high centered. Got down to short final, and the tower actually caught it and said, "Twin Cessna, go around, your gear aren't down." So poured the coals to it, went around, joined downwind, realized what had happened, put the gear down, landed just fine, but it was embarrassing. What I had done wrong was that I went through the motions on the checklist. I put the gear down, but I didn't actually verify 3 green. And this is something that we can all learn from. So what I do now, as you see in this video, is when I put the gear down, reach over, put the flaps to approach, and then I put my finger back on the gear selector and wait and verify 3 green. And even if I'm by myself or with a passenger, I say out loud, 3 green, gear down and locked, right? So this is something we're all guilty of just going through the motions on a checklist. So my advice is reevaluate how you use your checklist and make sure that you're actually verifying things. If your aircraft just came out of extensive maintenance, when you do the flight control check on the checklist, do you actually look out and make sure the aileron is moving in the correct direction? Or are you just going through the motions and saying flight control's free and correct? That's just another example of how we can fail at this if we're just going through the motions. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope to do a video soon on the new panel. Thanks a lot. Happy flying.